Welcome to iSpa's Product Learning Lab. The CEO and co-founder of Clean Republic, Hugh Huffaker, joins us today to share information about their latest and greatest offerings. Hugh, let's jump right in. We can't wait to hear about all the offerings that you've chosen to highlight here in the iSpa Product Learning Lab.
Thanks so much, Patrick. It's an honor to be here. Excited to do this lab today.
It's great to have you. So I want to know, I feel like you have so much always going on between Clean Republic and cosmetic. There's always such dynamite stuff happening with your company. You've set the spa world on fire.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We're trying to, always change the paradigm and think of new crazy things to do.
Absolutely. So update us on what's happening first with Clean Republic. I hear you have some new products that you've launched.
Yeah, so we have a few new products that are coming out right now. One of them is going to actually be wipes. And, one of the problems right now with wipes is that they're very unsustainable and they're not very eco-friendly because you're getting all this plastic in, and also you have a lot of non-biodegradable wipes. And so what we've done is it's a system where you just buy the bucket, for example, one time, and then you fill it up with dry biodegradable wipes, and you just pour our solution in, our disinfectant, the hypochlorous acid. And when you go through all the wipes, then you just load some more dry wipes in and then repeat. And so you're never throwing, we've eliminated the use for the need for one-time plastic.
So what is the material of the wipe? It's biodegradable. So what are you using to make that wipe?
So it's a mixture of bamboo and cellulose. So two different types of organic compounds that you can use. And it's really interesting, when we talk to more so to gyms that we work with, people in the fitness industry, a really common thing that's happened over the past few months is their plumbing keeps getting clogged because people are flushing down non-biodegradable wipes all the time, and this causing quite a bit in damage right now. So, we want to make that a little bit easier on people just in case someone decides to flush wipes for some apparent reason.
There should be a sign, don't flush the wipes. So they're probably...
Yeah, exactly. But one thing that we're a little bit more excited on that I actually haven't told anyone about in public. So this is a hot scoop right now for iSpa that we're giving is, the thing that really happened this year with Clean Republic that we've been really fortunate in is that we've gotten quite a bit of media attention, and we were able to meet some really, really cutting edge scientists who are developing sort of the future of cleaning. And right now our product line is somewhat limited to hypochlorous acid products, but we wanted to go bigger than that because the name of our company isn't Hypochlorous Acid Republic, it's Clean Republic. And so we want it to be all encompassing. And right now what we're testing is, rethinking how you clean. And let's take soft surfaces, for example. There's a microbiome on all of the soft surfaces, like right now, and on the carpet, on sofas, all these things. There's different type of bacteria that are growing, and you want it to be the good bacteria. You don't want it to be the bad bacteria. So, have you ever taken any like probiotics for your stomach, or do you drink kombucha or anything like that?
Guilty as
Me too.
We live on kombucha.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I drink outside of water and coffee is kombucha. And so what you're doing is in your gut biome, you're trying to get the right bacteria and flora. And so we're trying to take that same concept and move it into cleaning. And so there's already a few live enzyme products out there, but they're more for, removing stains. And so what we're testing out is can we cultivate the right bacteria on carpet, for example, to where, we use the metaphor as like the hotel is full, there's no room for the other malicious bacteria to start growing. And so, we're looking at instead of being reactive to cleaning, it's more being proactive, where you can spray this onto the carpet and soft surfaces, and not only will it keep the bad bacteria out, but we've seen it be able to actually take out VOCs, volatile organic compounds. And also, if someone comes into your house or a beautiful montage property who's got muddy feet, or they spill wine on the carpet, a lot of these enzymes actually will feed on that, and it will literally eat the stains away or eat the dirt away. And so that's something that we think is going to be the future of cleaning right now. And so I think the problem has been the messaging to try to get people to be a little bit more proactive in their cleaning, instead of thinking about it as like, we're going to spray a disinfectant on our carpet or a detergent. Let's prevent it from happening in the first place.
That's interesting. So you're kind of, with what you're describing, sort of combining the idea of sanitization, cleaning, with also the cosmetic thing that happens when someone spills something on carpet or a soft surface, which is, it's really important, because if you're able to do that, it really sort of changes the conversation around us bringing blankets back into spas, the pillows, all those types of different pieces that we kind of have taken out over the past year.
Yeah, exactly. It's, we've lost a lot of soft surface items in our spas. And so, we want to help bring that back and help prevent any sort of, and I mean, also hotels and spas that are near the ocean or in, humid climates, they tend to grow mold relatively easily. And so we want to, and in fact, I think that the first time that we met at a spa convention, I met another lady who was a spa director, and she had developed, it was like cystic fibrosis, I think, because of mold inside of her house. And so, it's a silent killer. And, once we get past this whole coronavirus thing, I think people are really going to be questioning, how are we cleaning right now? Because it obviously isn't working. It isn't working that well. And with all the disinfectants that we're using, we're ruining all of our capital equipment. It's just burning through carpet and upholstery, and it's not even really working that well. So as far as the majority of the disinfectants that are being used. So, we're really wanting to touch a lot of different products right now, and essentially be an eco lab that's green. Right now, Eco Lab kind of has a monopoly as the Jansan distributor to the hospitality industry. And so, we want to give people another option down the road. I mean, that's obviously a pipe dream right now, but that's the direction where we really want to start moving.
And that's a great pipe dream, as you called it, to have, because to your point, I don't think we're not going to clean less once we're sort of past or reimagine this moment that we're in. So that imperative to clean is still going to be there at these same levels. And you're right, you don't want to start breaking down all of the things that you purchased and spent thousands of dollars on.
Exactly.
That break down those items. So it'll be great to have what you're describing as a clean.
Yep. We've been, we were talking with a really large chain of gyms that we just picked up as a client in the US, and almost all of their treadmills were starting to get burned through by the acidic disinfectants that they were all using. And so, I think the thing that probably sold them is, I was like, here's our disinfectant. Neutral pH. Yeah, and your body's naturally producing it as we speak in your skin. And that's sort of the crazy thing about hypochlorous acid in general is, from our cosmetics company, cosmetic that we own, we came out with a hypochlorous acid facial spray last year. That's for people with cystic acne. A lot of people with psoriasis have some really great effect from it, because it pulls oxygen to the surface of your skin, but it also oxidizes out the bacteria at a cellular level. So it's just really powerful product to put on your face, but it's also very gentle and with the neutral pH.
So it seems like with both brands, with Cosmetic and with Clean Republic, you're really working with this idea of pH balance, of acids, of sort of working. It's a very interesting concept that you built both brands around, of how do you work with what exists within you already as a defense against something that could come in and hurt you.
Exactly. Yeah. So we've just always had the belief that, there's millions of years of evolution all around us. And so, why not take a look at, what nature has created? Because in many cases, it's the strongest thing around. Like penicillin, comes from fungi, and that changed the world when penicillin came out. So, what else out there is out there that we can start to look at? I love there's this type of mushroom that has a natural defense against ants. And so we met someone a few weeks ago that was actually extracting this mushroom, spraying it around houses, and just the scent of that mushroom was, pushing the ants away. And so I just think fungi are very, very interesting, and just things that you see in nature. We need to explore a little bit more, because, things are definitely, every time I watch a documentary on Netflix, I start to get a little depressed about where we're going. I watched that ocean one 2 nights ago that just came out on Netflix, and I was like, oh my gosh, what are we doing here?
Hugh, this may be an odd question, but have you always been a thinker in this regard, in how you approach a problem for the solutions that you come up with? Have you always had that approach in your life?
Yeah, I've always been a problem solver. I think that's like, I try to grasp stuff like conceptually, and then, critical think around it. That's sort of been one of my stronger suits always growing up. And I started rock climbing when I was just a little kid, and so in Tennessee. And so the outdoors has always been a huge part of my life. And so I like to kind of combine both things, and, do things that I'm passionate about.
And so talk to me about what's going on with the EPA and Clean Republic.
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually have got some pretty exciting stuff with the EPA right now that's happening. We passed all of our testing for a 1-minute kill time of COVID, which will make us one of the best in the country for 60 seconds in killing COVID. We direct tested on COVID, and we also passed our electrostatic spraying testing, which means that I think we're one of 10 companies in the US that will have electrostatic sprayers on our EPA label, which means that, we've actually tested to make sure that our product works well in an electrostatic sprayer, which is really hot in the spa industry right now. I'm sure you've seen them all around your hotels and people using it. And there's a lot of dangerous things being put in electrostatic sprayers right now. Like the New Jersey EMS, they started electrostatic spraying with quaternary ammonium. And within 6 months, a handful of their fully grown, fully developed lung, adults had developed asthma from it. And it's because, it's spraying out these microparticles, and it absorbs so much more into your lungs. And, when quaternary ammonium gets into your lungs, it actually binds with these types of cells. And, most cells will cycle through in and out really quickly, but this actually binds with your cells that tend to stick around for years and years to come. And so, when quaternary ammonium gets into your lungs, it stays there, which is why you see a lot of people developing COPD and asthma, and COPD is directly related to lung cancer. And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens over these next few years with the sheer amount of, like, every time I go into a restaurant, you can just smell sort of like the burning of whatever they're using right now, and the food's coming in contact with that, and it's just a little scary.
Yeah, we don't want the cure to be worse than the disease, perhaps, is what you're sort of saying there.
Exactly. And I kind of liken it to, have you ever heard of glyphosate before?
Educate me.
So glyphosate it came from Agent Orange in Vietnam, where they would just spray it on all the canopies in Vietnam, and it would kill all of the plants. And so We first got into hypochlorous acid to actually spray onto our plants on cosmetic where we have the farm, because we thought it would be really good at oxidizing powdery mildew. So we know the ag industry very well, and a lot of people in ag will spray glyphosate onto the plants. It's the same active ingredient as Roundup. And so for decades, we were spraying tons of glyphosate onto everything, and it kills everything except for the genetically modified seeds that are produced to withstand glyphosate. Well, all this data started leaking out about how dangerous it was, but we sort of didn't pay attention to it. And then a class action lawsuit hit, and all of a sudden, all hell broke loose against glyphosate, because you start to realize how dangerous it is. And with quaternary ammonium, there was some class action lawsuits that snuck up in 2020. So it'll be interesting to see if any of these wrongful death or injury class action lawsuits take effect, because quaternary ammonium is the #1 most used disinfectant in the world. And we see the movement away from these sorts of quats over to oxidizers. In the next 10 years, there's going to be a huge movement towards it.
Hugh, I literally could talk to you for hours, because every time I talk to you, I feel like I'm getting a science lesson and a civics lesson, and it's amazing the amount of knowledge that you have about what can keep us safe, and also be effective in keeping us safe in a clean environment, which is amazing. So thank you for always being my educator, my educator. I appreciate that. To all of you watching, please be sure to explore Clean Republic's Product Learning Lab profile to learn more about their amazing brand and to access their contact information. Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Thank you, Hugh.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.